Hello, Dad. This is Jay Warren. This is the Dadhood Journey podcast, and today's topic is this: the code, getting real. Let's do it.
Hi, my name's Mika, and you're listening to my dad, Jay Warren. This is the Dadhood Journey podcast. Thanks for listening.
Yep. All right, so the first element of the code that I talked about in the last episode is getting real. And to review, the four of them are real, raw, relevant, and results. The first one is getting real, and that means being completely honest. And mainly, the most important part of this is being honest with yourself. And so getting real when looking at any area of your life means just telling it like it is and not hiding and not trying to paint a prettier picture than it is, or being overly dramatic and painting a worse picture than it is because it serves and supports your case, if you will, if you're trying to present one. But it's just the facts of what's really going on. So relevant to dadhood and your relationship with your kiddos. If you're going through a challenging time and you don't feel really connected with your kids and there's a lot of yelling and not listening and that's what is, then, just be real of saying this is what's going on. Phases like that happen all the time and they're really hard, and denying that's not going to help you, and denying that you're having challenges and your kids having challenges and your family's having challenges isn't going to help you move past it. It's being honest about it with yourself and just admitting it, but then also admitting it to the people that are important to it, in your life, being like, whether it's your kids, if they're old enough to be able to have a conversation of saying, hey, we're having a really hard time. I want to make it better. How can we make it better? These are some solutions that I have, those kind of things. Or, if it's challenging times with your spouse, being real about that. Or whether it's business or your health or your connection with spirit or God, or however you conceptualize that kind of connection, then, just being real about it. What is actually happening? It's just facts. It's not emotions. It's just the real, honest truth. And when you can admit things to others or to yourself, that's when you can actually make a change. It's when we're lying to ourselves or others that it produces more of the problem. So as far as living by the code and being real, getting real, that's the first point, because you have to just be honest. I mean, I keep saying that over and over again. It's not it's not a complicated thing to do, but it's hard. It's simple, but not easy. It's something that is the foundation of being able to produce a change and being able to move forward. You have to know where you're at. And the more honest you can be with yourself about how things really are, and if that's that things are bad and things are challenging and things are chaotic and stressful, then the more real you can be with yourself. And even if that's just writing it down on a page or doing it, like telling whoever you need to tell about what's really going on in your support network, then you can move forward from it. Because I know this in my life, that when I thought I was being real and saying what's really going on so that I could make changes, but I was really telling half-truths and not really telling the whole story of it, I didn't get better results about it because I wasn't fully acknowledging all the parts that really did need to change. And what we'll talk about in the next episode about getting raw and talking about the emotions of it. If you're not really being honest with yourself, you can't really uncover the raw emotion part of it, and getting into the emotion of how you really feel about it is where the power comes. You can release that stored up anger, that stored up resentment, that stored up sadness, shame, whatever it is, and use that as potential energy to make a difference on the other side. But if you're not really going into the reels of it, you can't be fully raw, and so not as much will be released and let go and healed, and not as much energy is going to be freed up to motivate you. I'm just speaking from personal experience that when I felt safe enough with myself or with the people that I was divulging things to really tell it like it is, one, that nervousness I felt about being vulnerable was really scary. And at the same time, once I let it out in a safe environment where I knew it wasn't going to be held against me or I was going to be judged for it, that a helpful listening ear was there, that fully had my back and wanted me to move through things and to be better, that I felt so much better and lighter because of it. And I was able to finally move forward. And that's what we all want, right? So as far as adopting the code or living by the code of real, raw, relevant, and results, you got to start with being real, and that starts with you. And it doesn't have to be this like public proclamation of, that your finance is horrible or your relationship's horrible or your health is really deteriorating. Anything. If you don't want to divulge that, then don't do it. But do it to yourself in a safe space. And that's what I want the Dadhood Journey Facebook group to be, that you can divulge things that you might not be able to elsewhere, because we're not going to hold it against you, and we want to support you, and we're all in the same boat. I mean, going back to like the times where I was vulnerable and finally admitted what was going on to others, I got it real loud and clear. I'm not alone. That all of us are going through the same things, and especially in dadhood, with stuff with kids and family life and relationship life with spouse, we're all going through the same thing, and we've either been there and moved through it, or we've been there and are there, and we can not just commiserate, but can help each other through it. And that's what I want as far as the Dadhood Journey is not necessarily me just helping you, because I don't have all the answers. I have some answers, but I know how to work with things and through things for myself, and I teach others to do that. But mainly it's to have this community of dads to be able to be real with, and have us all support each other in moving through it, being better, learning from it, and growing from it. So in this episode, or the post about this episode in the Dadhood Journey, go ahead and tell us like what you're getting out of this about being real. Is that something that's hard for you? Is that easy for you? Is that something you've been trained out of, like maybe as a kid in your family life, or trained out of because of your relationship with your spouse? Or is that something you're strong in and can help others in being real and honest about just telling the facts of what is? And in the next episode, I'm going to go over the next part of it about getting raw, about the emotion of it and the power that can come from that. So I hope this helps. Look for the next episode coming out about getting raw about things, and I'll see you in the Dadhood Journey group. If you want to learn more about this work, about the code, the core, the keys, all of this stuff I've learned, again, as I've said, from the Men of Iron, which is powered by Warrior. You can go to my website at drjwarren.com/Men of Iron. No spaces, just Men of Iron. There's a link in the show notes as well, and it'll forward you to a page to learn more about it. So, but go into the Facebook group and let's start sharing and getting real with each other. Thanks, dads.
I hope you enjoyed that episode. You can hang out with other dads in our Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for the Dadhood Journey, and apply to get in. see you there. And see you on the next episode. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Perfect.
There you go, Dan.